Hey music community, Jeff here again. I want to do a quick video of some things that I got in recently. Well, one of these is pre-record store day. I just didn't get a chance to show it before the record store day video. The other one is actually on record store day, came in the mail, and is record store day related. In that, so basically in this case, this album was slated to be released. It went up for pre-order. I pre-ordered the album. Shortly thereafter, it was eventually approved to be part of the record store day release in all the stores from this small label. So that was cool. It showed up. I saw it at my local store, but I knew I had already pre-ordered it directly from the label, and it actually showed up on Saturday, record store day. But it showed up after I made my record store day video, else I would have showed it. John Elefante's The Amazing Grace. Like I said, this it was one of the first Girder Music record store day releases. They had like 3 albums of the limited run vinyl series. 3 albums, I believe it was only 3 that made it into record store day. So it was a big feat for a small label to get on board with record store day. And it was so great when I walked in my record store, I saw this. They had 1 copy of it. I felt like I should have bought it, but I wanted to give somebody else a love, knowing that mine was coming. Got home Saturday, made my record store day video, and about an hour later, it shows up at my door. John Elefante, of course, if you're not familiar with him, he sang on a couple Kansas albums, Vinyl Confessions, and the one that came after that, which I'm drawing a blank on while I'm sitting here talking to you. It's on Purple. Anyway, John Elefante has a lot of solo albums out. His brother Dino Elefante is a guitar player, musician of all sorts. The two of them have run Pachyderm Studios for many a decade and do all kinds of productions and background vocals and engineering, and they just do all kinds of things. They had their hand in tons of bands for the past couple of decades. Petra, all kinds of big bands. I mean, everything. They have their own band called Mastodon, which I mentioned before, not to be confused with the metal band Mastodon. And with that, they've had a lot of guest people from all kinds of bands, REO Speedwagon, things like that. It's just, they're all over. They've been around forever. John has a beautiful voice, and he has a, an extensive career of solo records too. This is his latest. Great album. It's going to be probably AOR rock, rock, AOR type stuff. And anyway, great stuff. Was glad that my copy came in on that. And then this one, so this album I have had, let's call it a mini grail, because I've wanted it forever since it came out. But okay, the album came out in 2015. I bought it on CD. I wasn't into buying vinyl records at that point. I started buying vinyl records again in 2017. By that point, this album had been hard to find. Everywhere I've looked for it for the past 6 years, it's always in excess of $100. I'm just like, yeah, this is crazy. And the other day, I just took a cursory glance and said, what's it up to nowadays? And I found somebody that was selling it for under $50 in near mint condition. Whitesnake's The Purple album. The Purple live tour, that album is readily available and easy to find for a decent price. But this one, I don't know why, it just shot up there and has never really been touchable to me. And somebody on Discogs had a near mint copy for under $50. And I was shocked and jumped right on it. And yeah, it's a double record set. It's on black vinyl, nothing major there. But it's basically Whitesnake guys, the current lineup, doing all kinds of Deep Purple songs of yesteryear. Mostly from the, David Coverdale area. Burn, You Fool No One, Love Child, Sail Away, The Gypsy, Lady Double Dealer, You Keep On Moving, Mistreated, Holy Man, Might Just Take Your Life, Soldier of Fortune, Lay Down, Stay Down, Stormbringer, Lady Luck, Coming Home. Great stuff. I mean, when I saw Whitesnake back in the early 2000-ish era, he comes out opening up the show with Burn, blew me away, just loved that. But yeah, so here he is revisiting them with an updated take on them with all the current lineup of the band, which Joe Hoekstra, Reb Beach, Tommy Aldridge. Yeah. It's a superb album. Like I say, I've had it on CD since it came out in 2015. I distinctly remember listening to that in the car quite a bit back in the day. So glad to finally have that on vinyl, and so glad that I found it for a decent price in such great condition. That's it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Rock on and rock hard.